welcome back to another episode of our Not So Simple Lives podcast. And today we are doing our little Royal Rumble Fallout episode. We're going to talk about the women's Royal Rumble because we focus on the women here on the podcast, the WWE women. And so we know that it's a week after the event. We like to do these reviews sometimes like a week later to see where the storylines are going. We've seen like an episode of Raw and SmackDown and even like NXT. And so we know like a little bit more of like, okay, where's everything leading to, as opposed to just like taking a shot in the dark, being like, I think it's going to go to this. Well, it's like,
We also need time to like process it too.
You need to process it. Sometimes you figure things out about the Rumble after from like interviews and stuff that you wouldn't have known if you would have done it like the day of.
We used to like do movie reviews and stuff, but like right after, and I feel like it was hard to like talk about it because we didn't have much to say because I feel like we were still processing the whole thing and how we felt.
Yes.
And, like, cause sometimes like I don't know if like you guys ever feel like this, but sometimes like when you watch something and then it's over, you're like, I don't know if I like that or not.
100%. I think everyone goes through that because you're processing your emotions. You're like, like I liked this about it. I liked this, but I didn't like this. And sometimes if like you can focus on the negative, that's why a couple years ago, I remember saying on one of our Rumble reviews, I was like, I want to eliminate expectations now.
Yeah.
Because I think that when I had expectations, when I was like waiting, like the countdown would start and I'm like, oh my God, it's going to be a legend. Like it's going to be this person, all the rumors like playing into it all. And then it would come out and like be someone that's like, I would be disappointed. But now, like past couple years, I've been watching with more of an open mind where I'm like, oh, okay, like this is awesome that they're getting that opportunity. I do think that maybe it was a bit too many NXT people in there again. Yeah. It's like, I think that's the new thing of what they're doing.
But I really like some of the NXT, like, people that they picked, especially that, sorry, I'm gonna be bad with the NXT names.
No, it's okay.
So sorry in advance to anyone who might get upset about that. But I really liked that. I think her name was Lola.
Lola Vice.
I liked her.
Yeah.
She was giving like young Lita vibes.
Oh, are you talking about Sol Ruca?
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Sorry. See,
Sol Ruca, the blonde one that was in the final 3.
She had like the checkered on.
Yeah. Sol Ruca.
She was in there for like a fat minute.
She was, yeah.
I liked her. I know
when you said Lola, I was like, really? I was like, Lola.
See,
Austin. In like 2 seconds.
I don't know who I'm talking about when it comes to NXT, but no, I really liked her. She gave like young Lita vibes, and she was in there for a while, and I was kind of surprised because I feel like most of the NXT girls were kind of like in there for a decent amount of time, but they would get out. She was in there for a while.
There was like 4, I think there was 4 NXT girls in this year, which that's one less from last year where there was 5. I think that it was good. I think they showcased and highlighted them well because I get it. We talked about it in our predictions a bit. I get it because they're kind of like, it's their test trial sort of thing. Like, okay, how are you going to be received by like main roster fans, by like the internet? How are you going to be doing in this environment? Because a lot of the NXT girls that are showcased in the Royal Rumble usually get called up within that year.
Yeah.
So, like, it was Sol Ruca, Kehlani Jordan, JC Jane, and Lola Vice. So, like, I wouldn't be surprised if, 3 out of the 4 of those, or all 4 of them, were on the main roster before 2027. I thought they all did really good, but like I said, I don't know, like, but last year was different because last year there was a lot of NXT girls, but there was a lot of main roster girls that didn't get a chance to be in the Rumble. But this year, I think all of the main roster girls that aren't injured, with the exception of like Alba Fire, but she was still out there with Chelsea, got to be featured. I mean, B-Fab and Michin, I think, are still injured. But yeah, I think in terms of this year, I was like, oh, okay, at least they were highlighting everyone on the main roster.
Yeah.
As opposed to like, you're going to miss this year's match because we want to highlight an NXT girl.
Right.
And
just to put it out there, going back to Sol Ruca again, obviously my girlfriend Layla watched it with us too. She does not know anything about WWE.
I love that.
She's just like, like, I'm here for the vibes, like to hang out. I asked her like, oh, like, who was your favorite? She said her. She said and she knows like Rhea and like Charlotte and stuff because she knows those are like the big names. but she doesn't like know them, but she knows them, like, because she's like, oh, that's like the face for, you know, the women's right now. She said that girl was her favorite. And I was like, oh, wow. So she, out of everyone that was on there, she picked an NXT girl, someone that doesn't watch WWE. So maybe she's going to have, like, you know, something come up soon.
Well, I think she has, like, some storyline she needs to finish up in NXT, but I wouldn't be surprised after Wrestle Mania if she gets called up.
Yeah.
They usually do that sometimes with people. But yeah, I thought Soul did amazing. She was definitely one that I was super impressed with. Let's talk about the winner really quick.
Yeah.
Well, to start, I guess, you know. It was Liv Morgan. I was so happy about that. I did pick her to win.
I did too.
I was a little bit back and forth on her or Bianca, but as soon as Bianca didn't come in, I was like, okay, yeah, it's 100% going to be Liv. Win. And she deserves it, man. Like, she's been working so hard. Like, she's so over with the crowd. Like, we've been following her journey of, like, how she would always get so close and then, like, lose. She was the final two of the 2023 and 2024 Women's Royal Rumble matches. So, I feel like she deserved this.
And I think this one, the being able to predict the winner, it seemed like pretty universal. Like, everyone kind of did think Liv was going to win. But I think it's a sense of, like, okay, like, we had a feeling she was going to win, but everyone's, like, happy about it. Mm-hmm. Because, you know, like you said, she's been so close to winning, like, every year almost. And it's like she finally got her moment. Yeah. And so I feel like everyone is happy and, you know, accept that Liv won. And even though it was kind of predictable, but I feel like there was also some parts in the match where you're like, oh, shoot, maybe she's not going to win. You know what I mean? Of course they're going to do that to keep you on your toes.
And when she dumped Raquel. And now there's, like, they've done really, like, not to stray away too much from the match, but they've done a really good job of, like, the lead up to WrestleMania for the women's division this year. I feel like last year was a little lackluster with, like, the title matches and stuff, you know? I mean, the stuff with Raw with, like, Rhea, Bianca, and Io was really good. But this year, just based on, like, the Raw and SmackDown, there's, like, tension between, like, Liv and Raquel. And then they showed up to SmackDown, and there was even more tension. And, like, Jade Cargill's in the mix now. I just feel like they're doing a really good job of keeping you on your toes of, like, what is going to happen next. Of, like, Liv and Raquel are, like, friends, but they're side-eyeing each other. You know? So it's, like, there's that element of unpredictability about, like, what's going to happen next.
Right.
And is Raquel going to get into the match? Because Liv dumped Raquel out of the match while her back was turned. So, you know, it's like that impacts the storyline going forward into WrestleMania. But I do think that Liv is going to choose Stephanie ultimately, even though she is teasing working with Jade. Like, why would you choose Jade over Stephanie? You know what I'm saying?
She's
like,
gonna choose Stephanie.
Jade is freaking a powerhouse, you know?
She, like, Stephanie just seems like more of her ideal match.
Yeah.
But it's funny because it's like you said with Liv, you know, turning on Raquel. And it's like, there was a lot of tag team duos in that match that now have some beef, like Asuka
and Kyrie.
And so there's just, like, there was a lot that happened alone in that match that is, you know, domino affected into the tag teams. Like, you know, now that's gonna be
Charlotte and Alexa.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's just, like, things that are gonna be unfolding now, like, you know, on regular Showtime. But what I was really happy to see was my girl Brie.
I know. We were so excited. That was 2 times we, like, popped. Was for Nikki and for Brie, but we were really like, yes.
No, like, for real. I know you said, like, now, like, you're like, oh, like, no expectations, not waiting for legends, not waiting for, you know, certain people to come back. My only expectation was for Brie to come out.
We were getting nervous.
I really thought she wasn't going to come out because she came out, like, 20, like,
29.
High, like, yeah, like, high 20s, and I was like, she's not coming out. Like, I'm upset. You know, because that's, like, what I was looking for. And then she came out, and we were, like, shut up, like, bouncing around. Yeah. Like, so happy. We honestly should have recorded our reactions. We should have recorded our reactions. So that's our bad. We're going to do that next time, because I think it's worth seeing, because...
It is, yeah.
You really understand why, like, you know, you and your mom, like, you're like, this is our Super Bowl. Like, you know, you getting to understand why because of these reactions. It's, like, so funny. Mm-hmm. But it's so real at the same time because, like, obviously I've, you know, grown to love Nikki and Brie. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, because of, like, the things you showed me, and then, like, now I know that they're, like, legends and stuff, and they were wearing their, like, little matching outfits.
They had such, I can't wait to get into the gear from this Rumble, which we're gonna get to in a bit.
Yeah.
But I'm, like, their gear was so good, like, very creative, very cute for, like, the, you know, standards that they had in place.
Yeah.
You know, being in Saudi Arabia. I thought the arena was really cool too. Like
they
really like a Royal Rumble that's like an outdoor arena, like something you never see because it's in January. Mm-hmm. And they had it like almost like a castle.
Yeah.
The background and like really big like, you know, Trons in the back.
The fireworks at the end were coming off of like multiple surrounding buildings and stuff. Like Saudi Arabia has that money.
They've got that money.
That's why I was there.
But the crowd, can we talk about the crowd reaction for Brie? Because like now in retrospect hearing what she had to say, she was like, I was so nervous that people were not gonna pop for me. Like, I was nervous that, like, I was going to go out and, like, nobody was really going to know me. Like, I've never competed in Saudi Arabia. Yeah. Like, you know, I've been retired for a long time now, like, actively as a wrestler. So she was really nervous, but they were here for her. Like, they were loud for Brie.
I think they were really excited. Well, not just them, but, like, everyone in general was really excited. Like, right when Nikki came out, like, I know, like, she was spotted. Or, like, I don't know, at some point, like, earlier in the week. So, you kind of already thought, okay, Nikki's probably going to be in the Rumble.
Yeah.
But she also could have just been there, like, attending the event. But
be, like, one of the extras or something.
But, like, why come all the way to Saudi Arabia?
Yeah,
you know,
like, when you're that big of a name. Yeah.
You know, why come all the way there? So, people were like, okay, she's probably going to be in the Rumble. And, like, you didn't know for sure. And I was like, oh, my God, yes. I'm like, at least Nikki be in the Rumble. Like, I don't know. I just, like, love seeing them. And... like, just coming back, I think it's cool to know that, like, you know, you're not too old, like, injuries are not going to hold you back, like, you know, people like that, you know, made it what it is now, it's cool that they can still compete and be in it, so I was just excited at least if Nikki was in it, but I was like, come on, like, Brienne, like,
I know.
Don't let your husband stop you being in AEW. Okay?
I know, literally. She was saying, she's like, I was waiting for the call. She was like saying on the podcast, the Nikki and Brie show, she was like, I had lost faith. She's like, I kept reaching out. The answer kept being no. And then she said eventually, like around Thanksgiving, I think she said it was, like they called me. And they're like, yeah,
dang,
like...
they called her at Thanksgiving? So
she said, like, around... I thought she... Like, I think... I don't know if she finished her thought or not, but it was either, like, Thanksgiving or, like, holiday season. They ended up calling her.
Still, I mean, like, that's still, like, enough in advance to be
that
like,
is girl. Because sometimes they call people, like, 2 weeks before the Rumble, and they're like, hey, you're in the Rumble. But I think for this one with Saudi Arabia, they had to tell the girls at least, like, a month in advance.
Yeah.
Because they each had to get, like, special gear made.
Special gear, and then, like... just even, like, going there is, like, a whole process. Yeah. It's far, you know? And
it's so far.
Especially, you know, with Brie and, like, Nikki, who they have kids and stuff like that. You gotta make arrangements and stuff like that. You can't really bring your kids on a trip like that, I don't think.
And Brie, Nikki and Brie were on Raw, and they were like, we're coming after those tag team titles.
That's what I'm saying. So that was my prediction.
Like,
I wanted Brie to come in that, you know, in the Rumble and just throw all these tag teams off, and I feel like that's exactly what they did. They eliminated
Bayley and Lyra. They eliminated Bayley and Lyra. They eliminated them in a really cool way that, like, symbolized their, like, entrance they do. Mm-hmm. So I thought that was really cool. That was a cool moment of them, you know, mixing it up with the tag teams that were in the match at the time. But, yeah, that's what we were really excited for this Rumble was the dissension between tag teams because there's so many big names that are in tag teams right now. Mm-hmm. So I'm just, like, really excited to see where those storylines are going to be moving forward. Let's talk about the gear really quick, because this was, like, very, different for the girls. They had to each get, like, new gear made. I mean, everybody had to be innovative and make sure their style, but they couldn't have, like, skulls or anything on there because of the laws in Saudi Arabia. Like, there were certain things
I was like, banned. For anyone that doesn't know, like, Saudi Arabia, like, women can't really, like, you know... like, expose, like, their skin and stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, they can, but not, like, sexually.
Liv was a little risque with that mesh that she had going on. I was like, Liv.
What I thought was hilarious, and I think your brother Kevin would agree, is that some of these girls are wearing like their normal ring gear, but they were just wearing like black like bodysuits or something like underneath.
Alexa and Zelina did that for sure.
So they had like, you know, their like top, like their bra, like top like outfit that they would normally wear, like with skin exposed and everything, like cleavage out and whatnot. And then like their little like underwear looking wrestling bottoms. But they just had it over the black like bodysuit that they had underneath. I thought that was so funny.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I get it. Like, what else are you gonna do?
Yeah.
But I just thought that was so funny. But yes, Liv was a little risky because she had hers on, but underneath she had like the black, but it was like a black.
When I said when she came out, I was like, oh, Liv did not want to wear an ugly outfit for her Rumble win.
No.
She was like, if I'm gonna win the Rumble, she's like, I'm gonna look back and I'll be wearing something cute. Like, I'm not gonna look like no Power Ranger.
It was like black mesh under, so you could still kind of see her skin.
Like outline of like her stomach and everything. I was like,
you could still kind of see her skin through it, but I'm like, technically she's covered.
I know. I'm like, and hopefully as it progresses, they'll keep getting a little more lenient, you know. But I was impressed with a lot of the gears this year. I thought the girls did really good. I always have a lot, so
yeah.
I have 5, and then I have an honorable mention.
Okay, I love that.
So I have Nikki and Brie, which you talked about.
I was
F1 drivers, the racers, so freaking cute. It like really like fit their body well. Like they like just looked amazing in it.
It was funny at the time. I didn't really like think that they were in my top. Like for outfits, but I'm like looking back, I'm like, no, they look freaking good. Like I love
so good
that they like, you know, match together. So they're definitely like top like ones that I remember for the night. Obviously, because Brie was coming back, I was like, oh my god, like already. But like I really love their matching.
Plus,
outfits.
I think we're a little biased. So.
We are a little biased
because it's like the Bella's friends. Then I gotta throw in Naya.
Okay.
I mean, you know, I love Naya. You know, like that hair, that gear. But Naya, like. That's usually what she wears is the bodysuit. So she didn't have to stray too much away from her normal gear style. Yeah. I thought the black looked really good and she was like all sparkly and everything. So I thought Naya was really good. Naya didn't do much in this Rumble, but I'm not going to lie. Like the spot with Naya last year was like the really down point of the Rumble. So Naya going, not that I love Naya. She's like one of my favorites. But like I like that she was kind of not as dominant in this Rumble. I mean, Kiana James, like, picked her up and slammed her. Yeah. And she got eliminated so early. So I was like, oh, this is really different for Naya. She's always, every time she's in the Rumble, she's, like, super dominant. So I thought it was really surprising that they had her go out pretty quickly. Yeah. But I understand the spot. Like, she was there to go out and she pulled Alexa down after Charlotte, you know?
Right.
So then I have Chelsea.
Yes, Chelsea.
Chelsea's always a highlight of the Rumble. She looked so freaking good. It was like these headlines, newspaper. I love that seafoam green.
She always has to show out and do something like a little crazy, like that one. I don't know, like you watched Unreal. Like, how she like put her face all over her gear.
She's so funny.
Like, I think that's really like, I think that's just like her personality.
Yeah.
But it's very good for her character.
100%.
Because it's like that, like other girls are not doing that because they're just like not like, you know, as Delulu, you know, as her.
And she's not like afraid to make herself look dumb. You know, she's like, I'll do whatever it takes. Like, she's very like, good about that. She's very confident in herself. It could be shout out Alba Fire too. Like she did so good about being like the protector. Like when Chelsea was going on and she was walking on Alba's back. Like it was just so interesting and added like a really fun element to the match.
She almost kind of like filled in for like the theatrics and stuff.
Yes.
For Naomi, because Naomi is the one that usually would be like, you know, doing her little like flips and stuff and like, you know, trying to balance on the stairs or the tables and stuff, because I feel like they were making her do that like for like a few years.
Naomi would always have those like amazing Rumble saves where it's like, oh my god, she's out, and then it's like, no, she's
and I
not
feel
out.
like Chelsea kind of had to take over that like little role because Naomi is Prego.
And she's a heel now, so they wouldn't probably have her do that because it gets her, like, cheers.
Right.
So it's, like, I feel like Chelsea is a nice, like, comedic relief, but in, like, a cool, fun way. Mm-hmm. I feel like the men's rumble had too much, like, comedy of, like, what the hell is going on? Where it's like, what the hell, you know? But it's, like, for Chelsea, it's, like, you're, like, just smiling, you're laughing. It's, like, comedic relief, but it's almost, like, in a more serious way. You know, I don't know how to describe it, but she did so good in this rumble, and I thought she was, like, definitely, her outfit was amazing. And then I do have Alexa. I just love, like, Alexa's gear style.
She did that too, huh?
She did. She had the bodysuit. But I do love Alexa's gear style, and I thought she just looked so good with her hair, her makeup. Everything was just super good. Guys, it was so hard for me to just pick 5 because I was like, I literally, when I, like, was going through, I had, like, half of, like, 15. Yeah. And I was like, oh my god, it's so hard in it because, like, so many people did so good. Mm-hmm. But I like, once again, like, bias, you know. Yeah. And Liv, of course, too, did really good, but she's already the winner, so we talked about her already. And then my honorable mention is Tiffany Stratton.
Okay.
I thought she did really good. I liked her, like, white, like, sparkly, like, angel sort of vibe. Mm-hmm. You know, she was making her big return, big comeback at number 30.
You put JC on there.
Oh, I love JC.
You said,
I love JC. I mean, that's the thing. JC was on my list, but I had to, like, I didn't want to have a list of, like, 20 people, you know?
I mean,
but JC's on my... We're going to talk about most impressed after this.
Okay.
JC might be on that list. Any other outfits that we didn't talk about that you want to shout out?
I think just, like, my top 3 is obviously Nikki and Brie because they were amazing. I love Chelsea. She's just hilarious.
So good.
And I honestly, like, I was thinking, like, my perspective. Obviously, I'm not a wrestler and I will never be a wrestler. Just not the life for me.
Maybe one day you could do, like, a celebrity run-in.
Oh my god, maybe.
Yeah.
But I feel like if I were to have any, like, type of ring gear, it would be very similar to Sol Ruca. Because I'm just, like, a little emo girl, like, at heart. And, like, you know, I wore checkered Vans for, like, the longest freaking time. So, like, her vibe was probably, like, it was definitely my vibe, like, in how, like, if I had to pick out an outfit, that's probably what I would come out
She's
in.
very, like, SoCal, and fun fact, she made that gear.
Oh, wow. See?
She's like Bianca, where she makes all of her gears.
You guys are probably like, oh my god, why is she obsessed with this NXT girl? I'm not, but she really impressed. She's amazing. But she really impressed me. I liked her vibe. I really, like, loved, you know, I love Lita, and she's got the same vibe. And Lita's another person, like, I really liked Lita the first time I ever saw her.
Lita just did an interview today and said she's ready for a comeback.
Yeah, I love that.
I'm like, all right, Lita, let's see you, girl.
So,
you're like, yeah, I love that.
So she's giving, like, a SoCal, like, Lita vibe, and I'm here for it, and I like the outfit. So I think those would definitely be, like, my top 3 outfits for the night.
And then we have to talk about most impressed too, because there were so many impressive performances. Soul's on my list.
I was like, we'll get her out of the way right now. Yeah.
We talked about Soul already. You know, final 3 being in NXT. That like final thing with Liv, Tiffany, and Soul. I was in the edge of my seat. I was like, oh my god. I was like, I think Liv's gonna win, but, like, Tiffany's making her comeback, and, like, how crazy would it be if Soul won being in NXT? I was like, questioning everything.
I kind of thought she was gonna win for a minute because I'm like, wait, this girl's been in here for, like, a little too long. I'm like, what if they're just, like, hyping her up and then, like, she wins and everyone's like, who the hell is this? And then you, like, learn who she is because she's the winner.
They should do that one year. They really should just, like, shock everyone and have an NXT person win and then be like,
I feel like people would be so mad though.
They would be mad, but I feel like people wouldn't be mad if Soul won because she's just so good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
She just, like, got it. Whatever she's doing, like, she's got it.
The energy, everything.
I feel like it's definitely, like, being, like, I don't know what the word is, but, like, people are seeing that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, she's definitely being highlighted for sure. Then I also have Charlotte. Charlotte was the Iron Woman of this match. She lasted the most amount of time. I think she was, like, 56 minutes or something, 58 minutes.
I know. I was like, if Charlotte wins, I told everyone, I was like, if Charlotte wins, like, I'm literally going home.
Charlotte's gear was really cute, too, like, being number 1 and everything. I thought her gear was really good. Mm-hmm. She did good. I mean, I feel like Charlotte was just kind of after she eliminated Nia and Alexa, like, on accident, like, whether you want to believe it was on purpose or an accident, up for debate. But she was just kind of chilling. She had that stare down with Tiffany.
She was, like, in the corner in the ground for, like, 10 minutes.
Yeah, and then to segue into the next person, she was eliminated by Lash Legend. Lash Legend was freaking crazy in this match. She eliminated Charlotte, Io, the Bella Twins. She eliminated so many big names.
She kind of took over, like, Nia's role.
Exactly, and it's funny because they're a tag team.
Yeah, I think they're I think what they're trying to do is have, like, Nia build up Lash.
100%.
Just, like, kind of taking on her type of role, because she, you know, they are both, like, really, like, bigger, like, stronger girls compared to, like, a lot of the other ones.
And can we talk about, like, how crazy the women's division is these days? Like, all of the talent in there, like, the NXT girls, everyone is just so freaking... I think, like, arguably, this is the best the women's division has, like, ever been in WWE. Like, I think with all the big names and, like, you know, you have your older generation, then you have the new girls that are learning from them. There's just so many amazing, like, women in this division right now, and it's, like, that's why the build to WrestleMania is so exciting, because it's, like, wow, there's so many amazing matchups that we'd love to see at WrestleMania. Right. And then I also have Kiana James, who is literally just, like, supposed to be, like, a manager for Julia, but she freaking showed out. When she came out number 3 and went against Alexa and Charlotte, I was like, oh, and then they hit, like, that tag team finisher on her. I was like, oh, Kiana's done. She's going to be in there 50 seconds. But then they didn't eliminate her, and then she picks up Nia and slams her. She's, like, going against the Judgment Day by herself. She was taking on, like, Raquel, Roxanne, and Liv all by herself. I was like, they are really highlighting Kiana, and that's what I feel like they did in this Women's Rumble, is they really highlighted the next generation. They highlighted, like, Soul, Kiana, Lash, you know, even, like, JC, Jordan Grace. I feel like they were all really highlighted really well in this Royal Rumble. And I think it just shows that, like, the older generation are like, yeah, like, I want to put you over. Like, Charlotte letting Lash eliminate her, Io letting Lash eliminate her. It's just, like, they're trying to build each other up as opposed to being, like, egos where it's like, no, you're new. You can't eliminate me. You know what I'm saying? There's no egos.
And it's so funny that you brought that up, because you know who... Like, we notoriously know who does that, but didn't seem like they were doing it in this match, was Natty.
Natty with her new character.
We gotta talk about Natty, because, like, what the hell? I've never seen that side of Natty, like, as long as I've been watching it. She always loses. She's, like, making whoever she's, you know, in a match with stronger than her. Yeah. And in this Rumble, I was like, who is that? Like, I know. She looked so different. Her vibe was different. Obviously in a good way, because, like, she's been doing this for, like, a long-ass time.
Yeah. She's been on the main roster since 2008.
That's insane.
It's crazy.
So, I don't know if I'm impressed with, like, her performance, but I was surprised in a good way. I was, like, shocked. Like,
her elimination was so fucking dope.
Yeah.
Like, when Liv jumped and hit, like, the Oblivion finisher, but, like, reverse and snapped her neck and she went out.
Snapped her
neck.
Like,
she snapped. And then, oh my god, Rhea's elimination, while we're talking, Raquel slamming Rhea down, not to, like, segue to against Natty, because I do want to talk about Natty, but, like, that's a new character she's been wanting to bring.
Yeah.
Because she's like, I need a fresh coat of paint.
Yeah.
More serious character. She eliminated Becky Lynch. That's huge. You know? So, I'm excited to see, like, what happens with Natty and, like, the push she receives. Like, is she going to receive, like, that big Naomi heel push like Naomi got last year and become, like, a world champion?
Right.
I don't know. We're going to have to see how she does with this new character, but I do want to segue actually into Raquel. That's the other person on my list, the last one on my list that I was super impressed with, because she was just such a dominant force in this match. Like, dude, that elimination to Rhea... Oh my god. We were all like, oh, like, she slammed her on the apron, like, on the outside. Oh, yeah,
her, like, she went out and, like, cracked her freaking
back. Oh my god. But I will say, Rhea and Raquel, their outfits were too similar. Yeah. Because we were like, is that Rhea or is that Raquel? We kept looking because there was, like, both, like, black with, like, I feel like the same sort of, like, vibe to it. And I know they're limited with what they can do with being in bodysuits. But I was just like, maybe you know, with their height being the same and everything, kind of was just sometimes a little confusing.
A lot of the girls were wearing black, so I was kind of like excited when someone came out not wearing black because I'm like okay, like black is my favorite color.
Me too.
But like alongside with blue, but I was like, okay, everyone's wearing black. Like, let's change it up. And so I liked when Be Fat, or was it Lash Legend?
Yeah.
I liked
purple,
when she was wearing
boots.
She was wearing all purple. Even Io Sky came out wearing like all yellow. Like I was like,
different. Yeah.
It was different. And so I'm like, oh my god, someone's not wearing black. Thank God. And then like I obviously like Brie and Nikki because they're wearing like pretty much all red.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just feel like, you know, like even like with Liv and Alexa, like they were all wearing like black with maybe like a little color, but it was like everyone's outfits were kind of looking like that because they were all black, and so it was kind of like, okay, like the ones that had color, I was locking eyes with them because you know they were like the pop of color in the ring. And
well, that's why Chelsea, like she was so like her outfit was so loud and so like extravagant. And then the last person, honorable mention, JC Jane.
Yeah.
Like my mom and I, like, we were so excited to see JC. I feel like JC, for me, is just, like, that person that you watch and you're, like, waiting for them to get their moment, and they finally get their moment. Like, she's been in NXT for so long at this point. I feel like she's been there since, like, 2020. 5 years, she finally is the NXT Women's Champion right now, but she's never really been highlighted on the main roster. I feel like she's always flying under the radar. So to see her finally get her moment, it's like, when you watch someone go from, like, losing all the time, like, not really big, to, like, Toxic Attraction, to, like, irrelevancy again, to, like, now in Fatal Influence as the leader, taking on that sort of, like, Mandy role, like she was in Toxic Attraction. It's just, you really just get, like, you know, happy for her.
Yeah.
Because you're like, damn, like, you finally did it, like, you finally made it, and, like, it's just, it brings a huge smile to your face.
And, like, not to, like, not necessarily go off track, but kind of going off track from the Rumble, like, don't you ever just wonder, like, what would have happened if Toxic Attraction, like, never ended?
Oh, yeah,
like, and like, Mandy was still there. Like, where would those three girls be right now?
I like, it's so one of those crazy what if moments because they were so dominant.
They were just
in
on
NXT
top.
And, like, they were always winning. They were just, like, a really good unit. And so I just would have loved to see Mandy get introduced back on the main roster in that character, in that gimmick. It was so different from what she had, you know, on the main roster. And I feel like they definitely would have shaken things up, for sure. But now we kind of have a new scenario that we can wonder about. It's like JC's the leader of Fatal Influence with Fallon Henley and Lainey Reed, which is another dominant, like, 3-girl group. So it's like, now I'm kind of wondering and hoping that they get moved to the main roster sooner rather than later, so we can kind of see, like, how it's not the same. It wouldn't be the same because they're not as dominant as Toxic Attraction was.
I feel like they could totally not necessarily recreate, but do something similar. Like, obviously not called Toxic Attraction, but, like, a similar name, but, like, obviously different, and take main roster girls.
Oh, yeah.
And put them in there. Like, I feel like Liv would be the ringleader. Like, if we're gonna talk about who would be, like, the Mandy of the group, I feel like Liv is, like, would take that spot. You know?
You know what?
And, like, put, like, 2 more girls, like, especially the ones with these tag teams that are getting all messed up.
Yeah.
Turning into a Toxic Attraction. How fun would that be?
That'd be so fun, because, I mean, the closest thing you have right now is the Judgment Day with, you know,
should we be writers for WWE or what?
You know what? I've been applying, so...
Just kidding. But also, not, like, let us know, because, like,
yeah,
I feel like
I think also Zelina could really thrive in a role like that, because the thing about Zelina is that, look, I love Zelina, don't get me wrong, but in this Rumble, it was just, her presentation was so confusing to me, because she had this big heel turn, she aligned with her husband, Aleister Black. They have, like, this dark aesthetic now, like, it's very, like, dark, like, kind of, like, voodoo-y a little bit, you know, that kind of vibe. So they bring Zelina back, and I was excited to see Zelina in this Rumble. but they brought her out with like her face entrance music that she had before she aligned with Aleister Black. And so then her like presentation was very confusing to me because then she was like hitting moves and she was like trying to hype the crowd up. And I was like, but you're like a dark sort of like heel. So I really feel like it's not Zelina's fault because I know she's a good performer. I think right now it's like a confusing direction for her.
Yeah.
Of like, you still have your old entrance music, which is like not the vibe you have anymore.
They're probably just trying to figure her out right now. And
she's in this weird in-between stage. So like even someone like her, like coming in as like the leader of a group or something, I could see being really cool.
See, that's where we thrive. I feel like we could take like the people, like the characters that are struggling to figure out where they're landing, like where they're gonna be, and build them up to be something big. I feel like that's where you and I, like, that's why we want to be like in the entertainment industry. I feel like even like casting,
you can see the talent. Like I can see like the vision when I look at these girls, because at the end of the day, everyone that's on the WWE roster is super marketable. Like you just have to find the perfect character and the perfect way to get them over that's going to like, you know, create the most crowd interaction as you can.
Whether it's a faction or something that like an interaction with somebody else that's going to give them like maybe a match or something that's gonna make everyone be like, huh, and like kind of bring their head back and look and be like, oh, what's this that's going on? You know what I mean? Because it's like that, like coming out to your old music after you just did this like kind of switch. It's like everyone's like, okay, what the hell is that? Like,
they're confused on like who is your character, like what are you right now? Like I think if anything she should have come out to her husband's music. If they didn't have new music made for her, like have her come out to her husband's music.
Right.
Because even though that might confuse people, they are like a team now.
Yeah.
So and they've been a team since like I think summer or like September, early fall or summer.
And he probably could have came out with her if that was the case.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like to kind of like give her that nod of like, okay, because that's the thing too about the women is that a lot of times you'll see like when the men come out in the Rumble, I don't think they did it this Rumble. Maybe it was like a thing of the past, but a lot of times the women would come out with them for like 2 seconds to be like, go get him or something.
Yeah.
But like, why don't they do the same thing with the men coming out to support the women of like,
I was like, maybe they are trying to make it more like women dominant, or like for the men, make it more men dominant, because it is a women's Royal Rumble, a men's Royal Rumble. And like they did bring out Alba Fire.
Yeah, exactly. And I like that because that was very like, it added a lot to
so they brought her out. But then, like, nobody else really had anybody with them. Yeah. So it's like, obviously people can come out with them if they needed to. So it's like...
But in terms of, like, presentation, I just, like... And it's like, we could do a whole episode on, like, changing up characters and where could this person fit, like, you know, in the storylines, like, what could we change about them? But now, I mean, let's get into a little fantasy booking to end this segment. We have Elimination Chamber coming up in a couple weeks. We'll be tuned into that. Maybe we'll do a little episode on that too. We'll see. And I think there's a lot of big stories going into WrestleMania. So I personally think as we live against Stephanie at WrestleMania. But then I feel like the Jade situation for the Women's Championship is very up in the air. Who from this match you were impressed with would you want to see go against Jade at WrestleMania? Because her opponent is kind of like people are throwing a bunch of people out there and they're like, I don't know, this person.
I think this is just like, cause I don't know, like I know enough about Jade, but I don't know like too much about Jade. All I know is that she's freaking jacked. She's jacked Jade.
And she's heel. She's like got this like bad bitch character.
Yes, she's a heel now. Naomi fucked up her shot to fucking win the Royal Rumble and challenge Jade at WrestleMania. But that's here or there. Sorry, Naomi. I'm very happy for her that she's going to have a kid. But she really did, like, kind of fuck up her opportunity. And then Bianca is hurt.
So, I know, I'm like, I don't know when she's coming back from this finger injury. Like, come on, girl.
So both of them are out, right? Based off of the Royal Rumble, someone that impressed me, I think that should maybe have a shot against Jade. Mm-hmm. And maybe this is too high of a swing. But it's someone who impressed me that I think that they would be evenly matched up Lash Legend.
I know, like, that would be cool. I mean, it'd be heel versus heel, so maybe you'd have to throw in a face.
Yeah.
For crowd interaction.
I mean, I feel like that would be a exciting and intriguing match to watch, just because Lash is fucking huge. She's she's a big girl. Okay?
She is. I would love to see that, and that's what I'm saying. There's so many people on SmackDown. Jade's already worked with Nia and Tiffany, but Charlotte is one that like could be really good for Jade because they're also very evenly matched. Also, if you want to throw in a wild card, you could throw in like Alexa, but like make it a multi-women match. But the winner of the Elimination Chamber is supposed to face the person that Liv does not choose at WrestleMania. Like, we are like maybe 90% sure Liv is going to choose Stephanie, but it's not set in stone yet. But the winner of the Chamber faces the champion. The Royal Rumble winner does not pick at WrestleMania. So
I feel like Liv is just on this high right now. They want her like a top girl right now. I feel like if she versus Stephanie, like I think she's gonna beat Stephanie.
I think regardless of who Liv faces, I think she should win. For Jade, what people are saying, speculation as of right now, the making of this podcast, people are thinking that it's gonna lead to like some kind of like fatal 4-way or something. But I don't know, because I mean, if you go through the Elimination Chamber and you win, to not get a singles match at WrestleMania feels like there'd have to be some real crazy shenanigans that goes on, because it wouldn't really make sense of like, why would I go through this vicious, grueling Elimination Chamber just to have to freaking share the spotlight with two other girls in storyline perspective, not like egos, but storyline. It doesn't make sense storyline wise,
right? And I think Lash against Jade would be like a good, like an actually good matchup. Now, do the names get people excited? I don't know.
Yeah.
So it's more so like I think you would maybe have to bring like a bigger name on there, like Charlotte or like Becky. Somebody that's like a little bit higher than Jade, like even Rhea. Like,
Rhea against Jade would be so good.
Like something, like someone that has a little bit of a higher stature with a name that would bring in, that's gonna that's gonna bring tickets.
Right, it's a women's main event match, so it's like you need Tiffany could be good. Tiffany's a big one. She has this ready-made storyline with Jade because of she beat Tiffany for the title. Not like I really want to see that match again, but if it's a triple threat, it's more intriguing.
Right.
So there's a lot of different storylines. I'm more crazy enough to say I'm more excited to see what they're going to do with the tag division.
Yeah.
Like if they're going to do some big tag team ladder match or something with like the Bella Twins, Rhea and Io, Lash and Nia, Kyrie and Asuka, Bayley and Lyra. There's so many different tag teams that could be in it.
There's so many like possibilities, like especially like for the future of like, the women's division, and like with the factions and the tag teams, they're all just like really getting built up in a really good way. So I'm excited to see what happens, but comment down below, like, who do you guys want to see match up at WrestleMania?
Yeah, what are your WrestleMania predictions? Because right now it's too early for us to even say, because we don't even know anything yet. We're just kind of doing Royal Rumble Fallout. But let us know, like, what do you want to see? What matches do you want to see at WrestleMania? Who do you want to see go against each other? And we'll be back with another little women's wrestling episode soon for you guys.